The most vital season on the earth. God is pouring out His Spirit. There are miracles. There's creative stuff. There's all kinds of telling slaves and stuff I've been privileged to watch in the last couple of months. But watch this. I'm going to make a strong statement. It's not a cop-out. It's not a self-short. I don't even want to see all that stuff without becoming like Him and living in His nature. Because more than seeing that stuff, I have to live my life. And I'm living my life from that place. It opens a door to see all that stuff. The stuff is just the natural response of walking in love. It's just the spontaneous flow of the kingdom. I'm not trying to get anything. It's just the reality of God. You get it? Because you start seeing people for their value. All of a sudden, you don't have to try to pray for the sick or approach people. Why? Because you don't have to get out of the way. You're already out of the way. You're not praying for them for you. That's why you can't be rejected by anyone, because you're not doing what you do for you. You're doing it for them. So if they reject you in the natural, you ought to hurt for them because they're not receiving Him. Not hurt for you because they rejected me. That means you're praying for them for you. It's kind of like Christmas. Did you ever see how weird it gets at Christmas? People that go through the longest lines. They'll spend money they don't have. They'll run up to somebody and they'll say, Travis, here, Merry Christmas. And Travis is just the ripping and tearing and he's smiling and you're going, and he goes, well, thank you. You don't like it. Really, be honest, you don't like it, do you? Well, Dan, I mean, it's all right. What do you mean you don't like it? Well, honestly, it's just not my color, brother. By now you have little tears in your eyes. This is not far off. By now you have little tears in your eyes. I can't believe you don't like it. I thought you would love it. I wanted to bless you. I got that for you. I stood in that line for days. And got up at 3 in the morning. And I spent money I didn't have because I was sure you would just love it. And now you're devastated and broken and you have to answer the question. Did you buy that for Him, for you? Or did you buy that for Him? Or did you buy that for Him to feel better about you? Because if you bought it for Him, you ought to be glad He's honest and telling you the truth so you can go back and get the right color and really bless Him. But if you bought it for Him for you, you're shattered now because He hasn't said, oh, you shouldn't have. Thank you. Oh. And then you go, Y'all all right? It's pretty plain. So do we do what we do for others? Or do we do what we do because we need to feel better about ourselves? You ought to already feel real good about yourself because of Jesus on the cross. Period. 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 Christ in you is your hope of glory. It's Christ crucified for you that was the measuring stick of God's love. It's God being for you and not against you. Who can bring a charge against us? It's God who justified us. Right? Your identity is through the cross. Period. Verse 8. The Lord said to Satan. So the Lord initiated the conversation. Satan didn't go. Satan didn't go ask permission to do nothing to Job. God highlighted Job's heart to the devil. God pointed out Job's heart. God pointed out Job's integrity. He said, have you considered this man? You see it in your Bible? Have you considered my servant? Whose servant? My servant. That there's none like him on the earth. Can God lie? So if God's saying this is true. Oh, it's so awesome. There's none like him on the earth. He's a blameless, an upright man. He fears God and shuns evil. What was God doing? got Adam to eat the tree and heed the voice of his wife instead of me. And I know they all took on your nature. And I know it seems like every man's hard and wicked and turned against me. But there's a man on the earth that loves me more than his own life. More than his own integrity. He holds me higher than his own. That's what he's saying. I believe he was prophesying. I literally believe he was pointing to a new covenant, New Testament church through the blood of Jesus that would deny themselves, pick up their cross, and follow Jesus, and love not their own life unto death. So I promise you, church, as powerful as it is, you can plead the blood and plead the word all your life. If you don't not love your own life unto death, you render the first two powerless. Because Satan's driving you by fear, driving you by wrong motives, driving you by despair, and faith works through love. You don't overcome through the blood and the word. It's the blood and the word and loving not your own life unto death. If that's not true, then everything's about you. And you're an easy target. Easy target. When it's just all about you. Man, if the rent's paid and you're shouting and worshiping, and next month it's tight and you don't have a shout and dance, that's not a good statement to make in the realm of the Spirit. You're actually confessing, I'm happy when it seems like things are going my way, and I'll give you your due, but if you don't pay up, I ain't giving up. And that's exactly what the devil believes about every one of us. Watch this. God said, God can't lie. He said, there ain't no man on the earth like this man. He's blameless, he's upright, he shuns evil, he fears me. Look how arrogant Satan is. Does Job fear God for nothing? Does he fear you for nothing? He's just coming back at God as if he has wisdom, as if he knows and understands stuff. Coming right back at God, questioning God. Some of us questioning God. I thought you loved me. If you love me, then how come you subpoena him here and find him guilty? That's deception. Don't you take him to court in the court of your mind and find him guilty. That's a wrong trial right there. I'm just talking straight. Is it all right if I come in and talk straight? You want the truth, don't you? Or you want me to pacify you because I don't have the ability to do that. We're in trouble. Come on! I've met hundreds of people that hold counsel here and take him to court here. Yeah, but, well then how come? And they got attitude and anger and issue, and they've got God accused. There's only one accuser in here. Don't be like him. It's presumptuous and it's proud. When the clay thinks it has something on the potter, something's gone drastically wrong. Don't forget, without him you're dust. But with him you're sons. Without him you're lost. With him you're alive eternal. There's a big difference with and without. Don't rise the clay above the maker. Stay humble in your heart, because grace comes towards humility. I've met people say, well, I can't wait till I get to heaven because I got a few questions for God. He's so merciful, he'll probably he'll just poof, and rather than you turn into dust, you'll just cry and repent. But I'll tell you what, you ain't walking into heaven with some attitude. The people that don't know him aren't that presumptuous. We think we know him so much, and then we have rights and all this stuff. We start holding him to his word. Well, you said in your word. And all of a sudden it makes you arrogant. It gets you presumptuous. And all of a sudden you think you have a case. Now you're reading your Bible for what God didn't do. It makes you proud. It makes him your table waiter, your busboy, your genie in the lamp. He's your father. Don't you accuse him. People that don't know God don't know any better, and when his presence comes, it says they'll cry and hide in rocks and caves. At least the trees and stuff just fall on them. Or they'll cry after that. I mean, at least they have to face the presence. Let the trees and the rocks fall on us and kill us, because we can't even face the reality of who he is. Because they've lived their life apart from him. Christians get so presumptuous in misunderstanding that they take this thing like a legalistic thing. Well, you said in your word. I met a pastor once, he wasn't even pastoring the church no more. Because he went out and prayed for the sick, and the sick didn't get healed. They said, well, your book ain't true. I did my part. You didn't do yours. And he quit pastoring and didn't go to church. And he was justified in his mind because of that thinking. When it ain't producing life, you know it's the way that seems right to a man. It isn't the wisdom of God. And I had a good chance to take him out. We went to a Subway, and I got 2 words of knowledge in the Subway, and the girls got rocked and cried, and Jesus landed in the place, and he sat at his table and bawled and said, I just tested God and held him to his word and never let him make my heart become love. I just held God at a distance and said, well, you need to do your part. And he said, I was missing love. And he was bawling in the Subway, and there's people healed, God's everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, you ought to get right with him. He's right here. You know, wrong thinking, wrong perspective could mess you up forever. Satan wants to blind and deceive. If your eye's single, your whole body is flooded with light. It doesn't say, unless, of course, you're faced with many issues and challenges. No, if your eye is single, light. Unless, of course, everything's not going your way, brother. Unless, of course, people are treating you unfairly. Doesn't say that. It says if you see clear, if you see single, there's light. How do you think Jesus walked on the earth when he was despised and rejected by men, when he came to his own and his own knew him not? When the people that were made through him did not receive him, to the extreme point that they crucified him as a murderer and a thief, or worse. How could you do something like that unless you're selfless and alive for them? Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. But because of this, one day I believe they'll see and come to know the goodness of who you are. And he died on a cross that we might live. Sir Jesus, greater love hath no man than this. And he laid down his life, not stand for his rights, laid down his life for another. I have good news for you. When I became a Christian, I gave up all my rights to obtain one, to look like him in every situation. I have one right in my life. I'm born again for his image. I'm created in his image. Jesus paid his blood to restore me back to the image of God. If you get one thing out of what I said tonight, get that right there. The one reason Jesus shed his blood was to get the lie off of you and restore you back to what he made you to be in the first place. God doesn't do love. He is love. He made us love. 2 Peter chapter